Hey Wednesday gang, we're getting ready for our last class of the semester. We're going to switch back over to Salsa and I hope you guys enjoy the class. Okay, so our first job is we're going to do a balance drill to help us with our spins. First job though is our posture. So let's just, if you're totally vertical, that's not exactly what we want for Salsa or Latin dance. We want those hips slightly back. You can see my inseam is a vertical line. It's not angled forward, so I don't have the hips forward too much. The hips stay back. The chest is forward, and I try to keep my sternum vertical so that I'm not losing my alignment. I'm not bent forward looking over like this. So I have that posture. I'm going to start feet together. We'll do turn out. We do that in Salsa. Your toes should be separated, but the ankles should be together. What I want to do first is feel your weight in your heels, and then slowly roll that weight forward into the balls of your feet and then your toes, and then take it back into the heels. We have control over that. We want to be very still while we're doing this little slow movement forwards and then back. Not picking any part of the foot up off of the floor. Then back and forth, move from one foot to the other. Feel the pressure on the outside of the foot and then the inside of the feet together and then the outside of the other foot. Very subtle movement, but just kind of getting the feel for what part of our foot is going to support our weight. Cool. Next piece of this drill, we're going to stand on one foot. And again, I'm going to keep turn out. If that's uncomfortable, you can switch. But I'm just going to try to keep my posture, switch weight to one side, take the free foot into passe. At this point, you'll probably start making corrections. I want the corrections to be very small. So right now, my ankle is wiggling around quite a lot, trying to hold itself in position. So I want little small corrections. Go ahead and switch sides, other foot. Flex those toes into the floor, passe, and then again, tiny corrections. It's normal to have a stronger side and a weaker side. I feel like my right foot wiggles a bit more than my left. Cool. Very nice. Then we move on. Now that we've done one foot, we're going to move to the balls of the feet. So I'm going to, again, keep my feet turned out, but generally together. And I'm going to lift up to the very tippy part of my toes as high as I can, and just try to hold that balance. And again, corrections are normal, as long as they're small corrections. This is not as helpful. Cool. Same drill, feet apart now. Up on the toes, as high as you can on the toes. Balance lower on the toes is also valuable, but a little bit easier. Make sure you're staying on the inside of the feet. Don't roll your feet out like this. This would be a not good way to practice. You want to keep the kind of ankles almost pushing together, so you have a winged foot. Very good. Last one is that same thing, except we're moving on to one foot. So I'm going to start with the feet separated, up on the toes. I'm going to shift to one side, and this is where it's going to get wild. You're still trying to keep your posture. You're still trying to make small corrections. Even just being balanced like this on one foot with just using the other foot for balance, this is still strengthening that side and a really valuable exercise, even if you can't lift that foot off the floor. And again, you can see my corrections start to get a lot bigger when I move on to one foot. Also the calf burning, trying to keep me on the highest part of my foot. Then we'll do that on the other side once as well. Make sure that you're really feeling solid before you try to pick this foot up. Again, we're building strength towards having that perfect balance, not hoping to just jump into the perfect balance. Let's jump into some of our spins. I'm going to start with an AXL turn. I'll do it facing both ways here real quickly. So an AXL turn we can do to either side is a term for a turn. It's just a type of turn that you do in Salsa. It is on one foot and it's varying amount of rotation. For now we're going to practice one full turn. I want you to step out to one side and you can see the body winding up just a little bit. Don't get too into it with the shoulders. I don't want the shoulder coming way across. Wind up to one side, replace, and then full turn. If you're having trouble with full turn, wind up and then half turn. Wind up and half turn. I want us all to work up to one turn. That's going to be most applicable when you're dancing with a partner. And of course you may have trouble on your floor with your various footwear, but we'll do our best. And to the other side, prep to the left, spin to the right, full turn. Again, we want to keep our posture. We want to be aware of what part of our foot we're supporting our weight. We want to keep on the ball of the foot. I'm not going to do a close-up of the foot, but the ball of the foot and the big toe. You want to be somewhere in between the ball of the foot and the big toe, so there should be pressure of your big toe into the floor. And we'll do those to the other side a few times. Wind up, replace, full turn. Wind up, replace, full turn. You may find that spotting is helpful. Right now it seems to be messing me up. And spotting is just leaving the head in one position while the body turns underneath it and then whipping the head around to complete the turn. Okay, so we're just going to try to put that axle turn into a sequence with some salsa steps. We're not going to do any elaborate sequence this time, just practice some of these skills. So we're going to start with the basic. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to step straight away into a side basic and do an axle turn. 1, 2, step in place, 3, and then side basic to the right, 5, 6, 7. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. With the basic at the start. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5. Basic. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Very nice. That's the idea. Let's do the same thing. 1 basic and then 2 axle turns. This time we're going to do the side basic to the left and then wind up to the right and do our left axle turn in this case. Basic first, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 5, side basic, 1, 2, axle, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, basic, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. There you have it. All right, a new variety of turn. This is called a paddle turn. This is not the way that it's intended to be done, but it's a strategy that a lot of social dancers use when doing salsa to make sure that they're able to follow all the moves that are coming their way. So we're going to start with the basic step, and I'm going to do as a follower. This, again, where it will be most applicable. I do have a combination for the leaders later that will also use a paddle turn in the opposite direction. So we have 1, 2, 3. When I do a double turn, I want to complete a turn and then place my foot in place, and that's the paddle. So I'm going to do a full turn straight away. 5, another turn, 7, and then right foot back. 1, 2, 3. So I'm doing 2 full turns, and the paddle name comes from placing this foot. The foot is not actually to propel yourself like you think you're doing on a scooter. In fact, it's just for balance. The same way that on like a fouette turn for ballet, the dancers are lowering to their heel where they can create a little torque, but again, they're not pushing off, they're just placing that foot down for balance. So again, that looks like this. 1, 2, 3, place, place, 1, 2, 3. So the first time you place the foot, it's only for balance. The second time you step on the foot so that you can step back on the right. Let's do that twice more. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, basic. 1, 2, 3. Not my best effort. I'll do better this time. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I could use some work. Our next little sequence. I'd like to combine several of the turns we've done so far. We went over these last time, so this is the basic turn to the right. 1, 2, 3. We're going to follow that with the back spot turn. 1, 2, 3. I start the turn. We're going to cheat it from the previous turn. Hook, 5, 6, 7. So again, basic. 1, 2, 3. Turn to the right. 1, 2. We're going to over rotate just a bit. 3. Hook the right foot. 5. Replace 6. Twist 7. Basic. 1, 2, 3. Let's make sure we have that piece. Ready? And 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, hook, 5, 6, 7, and then going into our next figure. Cool, all right. So what we're gonna try to do is put that little chunk together with our paddle turn. So we're gonna do a total of 4 turns to the right, all in a measure and a half. So that will look like this. I'm gonna go slowly, starting with the right turn. 1, 2, close, 3. The right foot hooks, 5, 6, 7. Now from here I have already some twist in my body generated for the turn. I'm going to over rotate this for my first paddle. 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. I switch back to the leader's timing. Once again, that looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. If you wanted something easy, even fancier at the end, you've just finished the paddle. 1, 3, throw it an axle turn left. 5, 6, 7. Cool. I'm going to try that a couple times through without stopping. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. Again, I'll throw the axle turn at the end this time. 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Fun. So it's a pretty challenging sequence, but that is totally something you can use in a shine setting. And the double turn, very good practice for a double turn when we start doing that with a partner. Turn sequence more for the leaders. So as a leader, we're doing a lot of like crossbody leads, this type of thing. One of my favorite moves to lead as a leader, I'll do it in profile this way, is a crossbody lead with extra turn for me. So there's two versions of this. One is I do a turn and a half. 1, 2, 3. My follower's coming around for the crossbody lead on this side of me, and I'm going to do a turn to the left. 5, replace 6, close 7, and then a basic forwards 1, 2, 3. I say I do this as a leader, but in reality it's something that can be done as a leader or as a follower, so I'd like everyone to practice. Here we go again. So I'm starting this turn to the left. 1, 2, 3. I walk forwards, right foot, starting the turn. 5, replace 6, close 7, and 1, 2, 3. From another angle, that goes 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. Once more from that side, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. Cool. So that's the basic version I like to introduce. Now, if we're feeling comfortable with our one-footed turns, instead of finishing 5, 6, 7, I can finish 5, 6, and then from here I'm going to crank out 1.5 turns. 7, 1, 2, 3. Back to my partner. So here's what it looks like without stopping. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. What I do for timing is I cheat just a little bit when I'm starting that turn. I take the crossbody lead nice and calm. 1, 2, 3. And then I cheat the timing of 5, 6, 7 just a little bit. 5, 6, 7. So I step 5, 6 much sooner in hopes that I'll actually land 7 on time. Since 7 is a slow, I can also delay that just a tad. 7, 1, 2, 3. I can land, count 7 a little later. Here's that same move from the other side. And 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Nice. So the reason I'm including this pattern for today is because the end is what we would call an axle turn. 5, 6. Here's that same prep that we had earlier in the class. Instead of doing only one turn, we're doing 1.5. 1, 2, 3. Collecting those feet together to make that rotation happen. The last thing I'd like for us all to try is just cranking out as many single-footed turns as we can. There are several different ways to do this. So now I'm not in the realm of salsa inherently. This is common to all partner dances, all ballroom dancing, as far as I have been educated. So, two ways to do it. One is the setup similar to the axle turn, where we step onto the foot in the direction that we'd like to turn. In ballet, I believe this is called en dedans. Feel free to at me if I have that wrong. En dedans would be turning this way, so my open leg is progressing around the turn. En dehors would be the opposite direction, where the back of my leg is leading the turn. So, I generally feel more comfortable doing a left turn on my left foot. That's the one that I have most consistency. Second most would be left turn on my right foot, and this would be en dehors. Lastly is right turn on my right foot, or right turn on my left foot. So, I encourage you to play with all of those different combinations and see what works for you. If you want a drill, stick around to the end and I'll give you just a quick demonstration without an explanation. But for now, I'd like for us all to practice that axle turn setup. and just see how many turns we can get consecutively. As soon as you put your heel down, your axis is going to change. So if you are up on your toe and your heel lands, now this is either in a different place, your place you're supporting yourself has moved, or that means you've tipped over to that area and now you have an additional, instead of just trying to hold still, now you're like floating across the floor as well. So that's going to make it much more challenging to balance. And of course, there are people who can do amazing feats, but for now, we'll work on our consistency of one version. So once you've worked up to one turn, I encourage you to try to put a little more energy into it. It's going to take more core strength to just hold your posture and hold your position over your foot. 2 and some change, not my best work, but I'll blame my circumstances. Okay, thanks so much, guys. I hope to see you all in the fall. Okay, if you stuck around, you want a special one-footed turn drill. What we're going to do is alternating turns, left and then right, followed by right and then left. So we start with a left turn on the left foot. We tap. We return a right turn on the left foot. We step to the right foot. Then we do the opposite. A right turn on the right foot, followed by a left turn on the right foot. Left turn on the left foot, right turn on the left foot. Right turn on the right foot, left turn on the right foot. So there is like a double turn in there, and then that like little wind up period. If you're feeling really confident about that, throw in the double. Hmm.